Portage Place.
Portage Place?
Portage Place.
No.
Yep.
It's like the back
Smoking
rooms.
crack at Portage Place.
We're talking about the best places to be publicly intoxicated.
We are not allowed to talk about that in my house.
Are we not?
No.
Hmm.
No. Not at all.
I would say St. Vital. Maybe
Well, how
Polo
the
Park.
fuck would it be Saint Batil?
The park?
Um. So, Tula white as hell. There's actually no. There's actually no questions.
Oh.
We have no questions. So, and I understand why, because last episode
Got cut short.
last episode I feel like we sort of talked about everything you could realistically talk about.
Oh yeah, isn't it a double episode?
I was actually just. It's actually funny you mentioned that because I was just about to address that.
Mm.
I realized what I promised was an hour and 20 minutes, and
We don't have time now.
yesterday. Now we actually have we have plenty of time. Yesterday, what I realized is I don't want to record for an hour and 20 minutes.
That's fair.
So yeah, unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. Why are you grabbing your head?
Mm-hmm.
If I
It's so
focus-
dark.
It's not. It's actually very bright.
Dark. You need to bring back heaven. There it is. That's better.
That is actually. It's a lot easier for the camera to focus when it's light out.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah. I mean.
So what should we talk about?
So I guess that's the episode. No, I don't want to record for an hour and 20 minutes. I realized the implications of what I said, and I think I was being too hasty, and I don't want to do that. I really don't.
Maybe an hour.
Maybe 50 minutes. Probably. Ooh. Oh, clap test. 1, 2, 3.
You're so loud.
It has to be loud because you have to sync the audio and video. So yeah, I realize that I really don't want to do that. So it's not going to happen, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. Forgive you.
Yeah, I mean it's
Should we do housekeeping?
There is none.
Hmm.
What is it?
That
What
was
is
my
the
favorite
housekeeping?
part of university when you start. It's like, all right, guys, got some light housekeeping.
So
I
what's
was like,
going on with you guys today?
this is for the idiots. I get to sleep for the next 10 minutes in my head. You know?
I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like you can just tune out the housekeeping and not listen to it.
What housekeeping? What are you talking about?
Like when your university lecture starts, the professor's like, all right, you got some housekeeping to go over. We're going to talk about grades and stuff.
We're gonna
You
talk
just
about
tune
who
it
has the
out.
highest, who's the lowest,
Yeah.
who's the smartest, who's the dumbest.
My eyes would just glaze over.
I'll just be like, I'm straight sleeping.
So much of university is just like nonsense. Like the amount of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite bad thing to do at school?
Bad thing to do at school?
Yeah.
Take a nap.
Yeah, but you don't nap in class. That's just foolish.
I nap in around university.
Yeah, but you don't nap in class, of course.
During my breaks sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm saying not in class.
not in
Not like when a
class.
lecture's going on. Because I get that it's like alluring and sexy. It's sexy and alluring.
Because it's like you're oppositional.
It's sexy.
You
and
don't care.
alluring.
You don't care about the lectures. You're just like, I'm gonna nap.
But the fact of the matter is, you're paying for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to see a movie just to take a nap. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just kind of a waste of money. But if a movie cost $6,000,
Yeah.
University kind of is a $6,000 movie. Because at the end of
Per
it,
year.
yeah, I've watched movies that were more meaningful to me than my university experience. The whole thing. I've seen movies that moved me more than a year of education.
I got scared the other day. Canada Student Loans called me.
Uh-oh.
They're like,
Uh-oh.
so I just want to see if you need help putting together a payment plan.
Yeah, because you're at the end of your 4-year term.
Yeah. So I was like, bitch,
Did
leave me
you-
alone. I'm
you-
going back. She's like, okay,
Did you say
chill.
that you're going back?
Yeah.
What did she say?
She said, okay, but it's good to start planning these things sooner than later. I was like, bitch,
I've paid
leave me
back.
alone.
I paid back my loans. My loans are paid in full.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to pay them back because there's no interest anymore.
Well, yeah, but they eventually hound you, and it hurts your credit score if you don't pay it.
Yeah,
So.
but like you could have done it over time.
Yeah, but I don't see a point in doing that because it stresses me out to see money leave my account. So I'd rather just get one big stressful attack than a little
Yeah.
nips.
That's fair.
It'd be like, would you rather get stung by a wasp once or stung by a mosquito every day for a
Mosquito.
month?
Mosquito.
I'd rather get stung by a wasp once.
Mm.
Because you gotta think about all those mosquito bites.
You got to think about all the you could have invested your your loans
Yeah, I could have. Yeah, I
in the
guess.
stock market and crypto.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the fact of the matter is that the degree, I guess, at the end of the day, um, was worthless.
Well, never say never.
At
Just
the end of the day, it's worthless, isn't it?
no, it's not.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
Even if it's not helping your career
it's
right
worthless,
now,
isn't it?
it gained you critical thinking about the world,
Yeah, but
changed your
I could have
worldview.
just been watching cartoons.
That wouldn't have helped.
I could have been playing video games.
You could do that anyway.
No, actually, I can't. I
Sure.
don't have enough time. Oh,
Do you not game anymore?
I barely have gaming time.
Mm.
I played this entire week. I played maybe 2 hours of Darktide.
Mm. That's not necessarily the job's fault, though.
Yes, it is, dude, because I'm there for 10 hours.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
there's other factors.
That's true. My mom.
Yeah.
My mom is the fault. My mom's at fault.
Well, I didn't say that.
Shit's actually kind of crazy. So my grandpa's staying with us. His auction's on, and it's a power drain, so I can't play my PS5 in my bedroom.
Womp womp.
It's fucked. No, man, it's kind of fucked up. I think it actually threw me into a depression.
Mm.
I was like, what is the point of all this? On Wednesday, I just came home and went to bed. I didn't even want to be up. I was just like, I'll just go to fucking bed.
Mm.
I'll just sleep. I just want to sleep. Do you remember that Tim and Eric sketch I showed you at the party time, the FaceTime party face snoozer by Cinco?
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I was like, I don't want to be awake. I just want to sleep.
Could you not I don't know, get a separate power source or something?
Could I buy a generator?
Yeah.
I probably could buy a generator, but I don't want to buy a generator.
Mm. Maybe you just have to work around the schedule then.
Well,
Like play in the morning or
let me
something.
hit this up on Am. I got work. I got a job.
Yeah, but if you're going to bed at like 8 p.m.,
I don't go to bed at 8 p.m. I go to bed at 10. So you're
still
saying I should wake up at 5 in the morning,
play, yeah,
play
PS5.
games, and then go to bed at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
That might be the move.
maybe.
Let me look this up.
If it's what you need.
No, because he sleeps with oxygen on too, so it wouldn't work.
Mm.
Uh, Amazon
He sleeps.
generator for PS5. Looks like $160 for a portable generator.
Small price to pay.
That would be so funny if I just had a gas powered generator in my room.
You get a solar panel.
My whole room is filled with smoke. Is this electric? Is this Yeah, it's a 1 hour fast charge.
Could you buy like an electric battery
Well,
for your
this is kind of
PS5?
what this is. Yeah, it's a big battery.
Yeah, just get that.
I'll just buy this on Amazon. It's Prime Week, anyways.
It's only $700. It's 6% off.
That's
It's a good deal.
I could get this one with the panels.
Oh yeah, it's only another 750.
That might that might be the move. Is having a solar panel that powers my PS5.
Especially if you have to pay for electricity if we ever own a house or anything.
If we Once we move out, we should get solar panels.
We should be like Richard and never flush the toilet so that we can save water.
Not our friend Richard.
Yeah. Richard gets really mad at my mom whenever like we throw out food or like leave a light on that we're not in the room for.
Yeah.
He's like, we're losing money. He doesn't pay for it. He doesn't pay for the hydro bill.
Well, you be careful. He might see this and cry.
He's not gonna see this.
He might see this.
Richard
mom
pays
saw
a
this.
flat like half of what the mortgage bill is, and that's it. My mom pays for groceries, the hydro bills, the utilities, events, dinner.
My mom saw an episode of this.
Did she? A full
Yeah.
episode?
I don't know. She just said I saw your podcast thing there, and I said, "Oh." And she's like,
Uh-oh.
"It was all right."
Which one?
I don't know. She did see the "Get Me a Coffee" clip, which actually that one was probably the worst one she could have seen. But the people like that one has 1,000 views.
From who?
The people, man, the people.
I feel bad now.
The world is such a twisted place. I've been
Straight
I've been
up.
thinking about quitting my job because I just hate it. I hate it. And I hate being there.
Maybe you should then.
Man, I gotta make that money.
You can make money doing other stuff.
Yeah.
You could work at like a much easier job.
Well, what I told myself
Part-time
is
too.
what I told myself is I have 2 short weeks in a row, and why don't I get to the end of those 2 short weeks and see how I feel?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been taking it week by. I used to take it day by day, and now I take it week by week.
I was thinking whenever you want to go back on the job hunt, if you want to like split up the work, I could help you apply to jobs. Like I can just send your resumes off.
I gotta write a. I want to write a book. Once I'm done this work term, I want to write a book and see what happens with it.
You think you're gonna stay the rest of the summer?
Maybe, probably. Odds are not low. I did write a novella. I have a novella that was written. My my proofreader is just sort of working through it.
I'm almost done for real this time.
Do you want to actually know a fact that might hurt your feelings?
What? It's been
It
half a year.
it took you longer to read it than it took me to write it.
I think that's par for the course.
No,
Usually, isn't it?
no, no, it is not.
Mm.
Okay, what do you think takes longer, reading Harry Potter or writing? I don't know why I went to Harry Potter. What do you think took longer, writing Percy Jackson or reading Percy Jackson? What do you think took Rick Riordan longer?
I don't think Rick Riordan did much
Writing.
planning.
I don't think he read that book.
He didn't research his guns. He just used M16s for
But what do
everything.
you think took Rick Riordan longer, writing Percy Jackson and the Olympians, or you reading Percy Jackson and the Olympians?
Probably me reading.
Okay, how long do you think it takes to write a
It
book?
took me like 2 years to read the whole series.
No, but one book, I'm saying. Yeah, it took him 2 decades to write the whole series. He's still not done. Okay, how long
No.
do you think it takes to write a book in hours?
How long is the book?
Let's say 300 pages.
300 pages? I'd say like 8 hours.
Are you on crack?
Maybe.
You think you can write 5 books a week?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
If it's your full-time job, like you're working 9 to 5.
Rick Riordan has been a writer for the past 20 years, and he's written like 20 books.
Hmm.
That's like a book a year. A
You know,
book that you... Okay, man, it does not take 8 hours to write a book.
maybe I'm tripping. I don't know.
I was writing... It took me like probably a month or two to write that. I think it took me a month to write that novella. It took me 30 days.
I guess let me think in like essay terms. So like a 5-page essay takes me like
8 hours.
roughly. So
So you think that if you... But, I mean, that's so hard, and books are so easy.
that's true.
Okay, but
It must
I
be
mean,
so nice to just write and not have to source
I'm
things.
not trying to be mean, but what makes you think that if it takes you 8 hours to write an essay, it would take 8 hours to write a 300-page book?
I don't know.
Oh, just got a
Delusions.
feeling.
Mm.
But I mean, there would be a lot more books in the world if it only took 8 hours to write a book. Because I could write a book a day. In that case.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take a day to write a book. I think to write a book takes, like, if you're working full time, I think it takes 3 months to write a book.
I'm a very slow reader too.
That's true.
How long have I been reading your book now?
Like 3 months.
Yeah,
It's actually kind of brutal.
I know.
But that's, I mean, at least you're reading it.
I am. I'm editing it too.
I didn't ask you to do that.
I know.
I wrote, yeah, I wrote a novella, and when it is edited, I would like the people to read it. I don't know if I've told anyone other than you about it, but I told my parents, and they did not ask to read it.
No.
That was actually low key. That was kind of hurtful, because I'm like, I wrote a novella, and they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, okay.
Well, you didn't really sell it. You have to say what it's about.
Yeah, but I'm your kid.
I
You don't
don't
have
know.
to sell it. Could you imagine if you went home? Okay,
They're preoccupied.
think about this. If you told your mom you made a painting, what would she say?
Oh, let's see. But a
But
painting is like a one
it's like
minute commitment.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. I shouldn't have to. Could you imagine your 4-year-old comes home and like, Mama, I made painting, or Dada, I made painting, and you're like, sell it to me. I'm not gonna look at it. Show me. Tell me.
Yeah, but you're a man now.
I have a. There's still a little boy inside of me.
I know.
Inside of me, there's a little boy.
Sometimes I fantasize about just being like treated like a kid all the time.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I thought you were gonna say something else.
What do you think I was gonna say?
Nothing.
Like I feel like the world is very mean and judgmental to adults. Like no one asks you your favorite things or no one cares about your interests unless you talk about them first now.
I care about your interests.
Especially if you're a man. And I hate to be like the
It's Men's Mental Health Month, Brett.
you know. But like
I ask about your interests all the time.
yeah, you're my boyfriend.
That's true.
Yeah, especially when you work with
Olds.
old people. Yeah.
Straight up olds. Old, worthless. Old and worthless.
There's like a double alienation because I work with like mostly women and also older women,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a double misunderstanding of, or not
Mm-hmm.
misunderstanding, but like different life course, I guess. I mean, obviously there's empathy, but I don't know. I find it hard to mm, understand sometimes.
You find it hard to understand old people.
Yeah.
I think they just want to be angry.
So many old people don't plan out their lives at all. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna not drive anymore and hope that somehow I get groceries. It's
Mm.
like, and then people feel bad or like, I guess I'll get you groceries. It's like, make a freaking plan.
You're just talking about your grandma.
Maybe.
Just complain about your grandma.
But so many people live like that. They don't
Yeah.
plan out like how they're gonna get around,
Yeah.
how what they're gonna eat.
Yeah.
They just live
Yeah.
and eat
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of young people nowadays are just living.
People live like that and then say they hate to be a burden.
I
It's
hate
like
to
you're
be a
burdening
burden.
yourself.
I hate to be a burden, but can you buy me a hamburger?
Yeah.
You know what's not a burden?
What?
Love.
Yeah. It's true.
Actually, love can be a burden.
That's also true.
It burdens. You know what it does? It burdens my systems of morality
Hmm. How so?
because it makes me do nicer things and be gooder when sometimes I just want to be rancid and rotten.
You're like Romy when you want to hit people with your truck, but you
Yeah.
don't.
When I want to prowl around around Broadway looking for ladies of the night, but I have to be loyal to you.
Broadway.
When it's 2 p.m. and I'm looking for hookers on Broadway.
I think McDermott is actually more rotten than Broadway.
McDermott is rather rotten, and also I do apologize for calling them hookers. The term is prostitute.
Yeah. And I should I tell him about my cream puffs?
You can't be saying that. You can't be saying I'm looking for hookers and then say, should I tell them about the cream puff? That
Why?
makes it sound like you cream pied a lady of the night.
No, you just know so many slang words.
Ladies of
The
the
amount of
night.
slang you've told me or like educated me in, it's like before I met you, all I knew was like the main swears like bitch and ass.
Bit ass is not a main
You've
swear.
taught me so many ethnic
I taught you.
slurs.
Okay, hold on, hold on. It's not like that. It's not like that.
The amount of
Sometimes
times where I mumble and he's like, "Did you just say beep?" And like,
it,
what the hell is that? And he's like, "Oh, it's a slur against
the
these
amount
people."
of times where you commented on something or you thought a word was funny and didn't realize the implication of it, and I told you, hey, that word means this. It's
No,
sociological.
it's not me saying it because
There have
most
been
I
times
didn't
where you
even know it.
there have been times where you said an inappropriate term.
Like what?
I can't say them.
Say like the c word or something.
The Z word.
Z
You've
word?
seen slurs written down and then chuckled and said, "What does that mean?" I went, "That means when you run over an Asian
Oh,
person."
yeah, I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, and I'm like, they would say, but it's not that I like saying them. It's a sociological thing. You understand the relationship dynamics between social groups.
Where do you learn these things?
I learned them from Call of Duty. I tell them I'm from. I tell them I'm from China, and they go, "You fucking see," and I go, "Whoa, I'm
Mm.
Métis," and they go, "You savage." No, they probably just say, "What the fuck is that? Some kind of fucking cream pie, cream puff, pufta?"
Puff Daddy.
No, pufta. Pufta is a slur against gay people that British people use.
Puff duh?
Pufta.
Why duh?
I don't know. Pufta. I
I've
don't know.
heard puff, but
Pufta. I don't know. I don't know why it is. I don't know.
British people have the worst slang.
So, anyways, yeah, all my respect and all my love goes out to the ladies of the night. I don't want to use your services, but I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy, and I hope
And I'll
that
see you after work.
no, it's not. No, I won't. But I hope that
You do
I
though,
hope
because you see
everything's
them on
okay.
McDermott.
I hope everything's. I don't see them on McDermott at 4:30. I get off work at 4:30. There's no. My respect and my care, and I hope you guys are okay. And I hope things are. I hope you stay safe.
I had a family member who used to be a prostitute, and they would
What's her
hang
name?
out. I'm not gonna say. She used to hang out on Higgins and Maine, and
Yeah.
then one day my mom drove past them and was like, "What are you doing here?"
Mm.
She's like, "I'm just making money." She had two like 6-year-old kids at home. unsupervised.
And you're what? Wow, I can't believe she'd do that to them.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, she's impoverished and she's trying to make money.
Mm.
The money is going to those children.
She'd leave them alone till like
Yeah,
midnight.
because Kim never left you alone while she was at work.
No, she didn't. Not till I was like 8 or 9.
Okay, so the 2 years makes a difference then. Come
Yeah.
on. Listen,
When you're not making them food,
how do you know that she wasn't
because
making
she
them
wouldn't
food?
come home till midnight.
Yeah, because she's making them food. They're sleeping.
Man.
You can't listen. Who's gonna take care of the kids when she's at work then?
Mm.
I don't know.
She had a job though.
You gotta make more money. You're a single mother, 2 kids.
Yes.
Listen. I don't think it's fair of you to judge this family member.
Maybe.
I think she was out there trying to work, make a living. It's not glamorous. It's not beautiful, but it is what it is. You
I
know.
don't know. I feel like you should make your kids dinner.
Is that so different from somebody working a construction job all night and their kids are home alone? Is that any different? Is it any different?
I don't know. I feel like you should wait until they're at least like 8 or 9 to live alone.
You're just saying that because that's when your mom abandoned you. No, I mean I don't think 2 years is that critical of a difference. I think that kids shouldn't be left alone, but sometimes they are left alone because a parent needs to go out and make money. And yeah, ideally your mom wouldn't be on the streets, but sometimes that's just the where this fucked up world takes you.
I guess she had family though, and she could have called.
Yeah, but not every problem is solved by just family taking care of you. Sometimes you got to go out there and do your own shit. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not pleased that had to happen, but I'm saying, you know, maybe walk a mile in her shoes, in her what I assume to be stilettos.
Maybe. I don't know.
Was she beautiful?
No.
Oh, well,
She ended up giving custody away because she didn't want the kids.
that might not have. That's a bit of an oversimplification of
Well,
that.
I'm not gonna get into it, but I'll tell you later.
She just didn't want him.
No, she literally didn't,
Why not?
because CFS called her and was like, we're gonna try to work something out with you," and she's like, "No, take him."
Mm. Well, she probably had a very tough life.
She did.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe we're being too judgmental of this lady.
Maybe.
I just want to say sorry for the way I've been talking about her.
I don't know.
And I think maybe you could say sorry too.
Mm-mm.
Say a little sorry.
I'm not gonna.
Say
She's done some bad things to us.
Can you say, just for the pod, say, I have empathy for your human soul?
No,
What?
I'm not gonna.
That's demonic. That's
I'm-
demonic.
I'm sorry, but I'm allowed to have
Do you have
complicated
empathy?
feelings.
Do you have empathy for Jeffrey Dahmer?
No.
I think that there's a future where he could have been a good man
Um, maybe if he was born today and it was like more
and wasn't
acceptable to
eating
be
people.
gay. Yeah,
I feel like that the homophobia didn't make him eat those guys, though.
it might have.
I think so. Listen, I think something.
He probably had like maybe he internalizes like gay people are so disgusting. I might as well just
I
eat.
might
I might as well just
be
eat them.
eat them. That's fucked up, man. Shout out to the
Social
people.
construct.
Rest in peace to the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer. I hope they're in heaven. They
Oh,
probably,
Jeffrey Dahmer.
if there is a heaven, I'm certain that his victims are there. If there isn't a heaven,
I guess that sucks.
rest easy, brothers. I'm genuinely not trying to crack wise about the victims, but I wish their families all the best.
Do you
If
ever have?
any families of the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer are watching, just know that I have the utmost sympathy and love for you.
Do you ever have those like existential moments where like, fuck, maybe heaven's not real and we all just die?
Yeah, man.
That
Every
sucks.
single time I go to bed, I've told you this all the time. I got an anxiety disorder. I'm always thinking about this stuff.
Yeah, but you believe in heaven.
Not really.
What?
Not like strongly.
I thought you're Christian, man.
No. When was the last time you saw me go to church? I'm
You don't need
nominally
to go to
Christian.
church to be
I'm
Christian.
nominally Christian. I don't not believe in heaven, but I also wouldn't say like I believe in it 100%. Like I
Are
don't
you
have
an
strong faith.
agnostic Christian?
I'm not agnostic. I think that's gay.
But you just said you don't know.
Yeah, but because I don't think it's because I don't have proof.
You don't like labels.
No. No, I mean, I don't strictly believe in heaven, but I also don't strictly disbelieve in it either. But there's always that sinking feeling that there's just nothing, which I don't like. It scares me.
Is this heaven?
My biggest fear is dying. That's my biggest fear.
It's a reasonable fear.
We've talked about this a few times. I'm sure you remember.
Dying is scary.
One of the first panic attack I ever had, I was like 12, and I realized I was gonna die. I had a panic attack. I thought I was gonna throw up and have an asthma attack.
Yeah. I had a similar. My first panic attack was imagining living forever in heaven. So
But
that sounds awful.
that would be awesome.
Well, because my dad described it as suburbia,
Yeah,
so I was
your
like, I don't want
dad's
to live in
heaven is
suburbs
straight
forever.
shitty.
Yeah, my dad thinks that heaven is like Steinbach.
Heaven might be Sovngarde from Skyrim.
I hope so.
Honestly, if heaven was Valhalla, that'd be this awesome.
Hmm.
Do you think if Valhalla is real, do you think there are warriors that have been in Valhalla so long that they've just gone mad and they're like just crazy?
Yeah,
Like all they can think about is bloodlust and battle,
but don't you think like
and they're just raving mad.
don't you think like you'd get bored?
Of Valhalla?
Yeah.
No.
See, I kind of am
Do you
happy.
get bored? Come on, be real with me. Do you get bored of eating? Hell no.
Sometimes.
No, what? Give
Yeah.
me, come on.
Sometimes when I have BK slop for the 8 millionth
Yeah, but
time
you're in
on
Valhalla.
Wednesday.
You wouldn't be eating Burger King in Valhalla.
I don't know.
You'd be drinking mead.
Do you think if people didn't like, if their bodies didn't get old,
Yeah.
people would just get tired of living?
Yeah.
Like at a certain age, people are just like, I think I'm just done with this.
Yeah. In fact, I've got evidence that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. People kill themselves all the time, and it's because they are just tired of the way the world is. Well, I mean, it's more complicated than that, but yeah, like
But like, I'm
part
saying
of
like,
suicide is an enemy. You're isolated from life. Is part of what's a critical piece of suicide is
yeah.
isolation from life.
But like,
That is a major part of what it is.
for a minute, forget like the social reasons for suicide and just imagine your life is perfect.
Yeah.
You're like super rich. You
No,
have
man,
access to everything.
It'd be choice.
You
And I
still
got tons of
don't
friends,
think yeah.
and I got love,
Hmm.
and I got a dog.
Yeah.
I don't want a dog.
Like imagine.
Do I have a dog?
I guess not.
I don't want a dog.
Okay.
Do I have a prairie dog?
Sure.
All right. Yep. I'm never killing myself.
Even if you're like 100,
Yes.
you're like the same age.
Yes. I'm 23 forever. No, I want to be old. No. No, shit would be fire.
I feel like part of the reason things are so good is because it's like
There'd always be shit to do.
you only have a limited time to do it.
No, man, I'd always find shit to do. There's infinite books. There literally is like infinite, because it's like, oh, there's a certain amount. No, bro, there is like basically infinite.
Well, maybe by the time we're old men, they'll find a way to plug us into the mainframe.
There's always crazy shit. I mean, no, man, I wouldn't get fucking bored. I got shit to do. I got tons of stuff to do, man. I could do anything.
Sometimes when I'm like really down, I'm like, I'm so bored of this. I see like people going to the park. I'm like, I remember what it was like to
Just love.
to love fun. No, I just sit in my bed.
See, but that's like how quickly do you get over that?
Usually when I start having dessert.
So it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jokes aside, it basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, someone like me, that shit could last like a week. So yeah, I mean, people do get tired, but
I think
part of that is also because I'm isolated from certain things, and there's certain parts of humanity that I don't have access to at certain points, and part of that's neurological, part of that's social. But if I could live to like, you're telling me if I could live to 2000, do I think I'd make it to 2000 if my needs were met?
Yeah.
Probably. Odds are good.
Mm.
I think odds are pretty good. I think I got a good chance. Because you got to think too. Now you got time to become like a Buddhist or some bullshit. How many Buddhist monks kill themselves? Only that one guy with the fire.
It's true.
There's just that one time. Oh, and no, not well.
Do you think if we found a way to like extend people's lives like a couple hundred years, most people would like try to live different lives? Like every 100 years, they like move to a new country or something, or would they just live the same thing over?
I don't know, but I mean, people do that now.
Yeah.
But in 40,
the human lifespan is pretty long.
In 40K, the Eldar live for like thousands of years, and they have life paths, and they'll be like, I'm going to become a gardener, I'm going to become a painter, I'm going to become a warrior, and they'll just do that for like 500 years, and they'll be like, I've learned everything there is about gardening, I'm going to become a painter now. So yeah, I mean, probably, like, I'm sure there'd be people, but then, there are people who have been doing the same thing since they were 5, and they just never stop doing it until they die. Like Frank Sinatra, he was into music since he was like a baby, and then he just did that the whole time. That and hang out with the mob.
One thing that kind of bums me out about like life is that like once you get a degree and everything, you're kind of locked into that like field of
That's a feeling,
working.
baby.
Yeah. Because like under like socialism or whatever, it's like you just work whatever jobs are socially needed. So you can like switch around as much as your
But
heart
I mean, you know
desires.
what? That's a feeling, baby. Ever lose, I refuse. You can always. I mean, it's you're more locked in, but you're never stuck.
If you could have the same benefits, would you be like a
This is
Zamboni driver or
this
something?
is my advice. Did you see that clip where it was just a girl on a Zamboni? It's like dream job.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
My
was talking about.
my advice to all my homies out there: you're never stuck where you are. There's always hope, and you can always change. It's tough, but you can do it.
hmm
I don't know how, but you can.
The
But
best.
if I could have any job, I will be a lion tamer. No, I wouldn't want to tame the lion.
Maybe it
Maybe
eat you.
maybe maybe a zookeeper.
Hmm, that's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, it's hard to say. I guess unemployment, but maybe like a zookeeper or like
Per dog feeder,
prairie dog catcher,
yeah.
ape
Washer.
ape escape catcher,
My dream job is a rabbit washer.
escaped ape catcher.
Would you brush the rabbits?
I would catch apes with a net.
That is the dream job.
I would brush rabbits, but I would rather catch apes with a net.
Hmm.
Being the ape escape kid would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's his job.
His job is to catch apes, chimps, even
Mm-hmm.
baboons. I guess my dream job would probably be like executor with
That's,
the big axe.
that's scary. Why would you say that?
I'm joking.
Okay, good.
There are people out there whose job for 40 years they're like, I'm the executor. That
Yeah,
guy must have been a freak.
he had to tie a bag over his head.
The executor must have been a fucked up freak. He had to have been a fucked up freak.
I never understood how they could cut people's heads off having a bag on their head. How can you see?
They have eye holes,
Oh, true.
or the bag is thin.
Mm. Why would
And
they
they
do
didn't
that?
always have a bag on their head because you don't want people to know who the executor is.
Couldn't you tell by looking at them?
No, because they're wearing a bag on their head.
I guess.
Hold on, let me look this up. I guess how do you look up executor without seeing a dead body?
Yeah.
Medieval executioner.
They should do made
Close
with
your eyes because
those.
there might be dead bodies.
It's like
Uh,
the maid team.
yeah, I mean this is what you had to look like back then.
That's fun.
I'll put him in the thumbnail. Put him in the thumbnail. Yeah, but no, they'd have you wear a bag on your head so they didn't know who you were. But I guess you're right. It's like, yeah, okay, well, this is the fattest bloke in town. Everyone knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah. Because you
It's
need to
the
be pretty jacked
because it's
to.
the best paying job.
Yeah.
So you have the most food.
The
If
guilt.
I were the king, I'd be the executioner king.
What's like the term for when you invent new technology, like makes the job redundant?
Inventor.
Yeah, the guillotine kind of
Redundant.
made them redundant.
Redundancy. The guillotine did not make the executioner redundant because somebody still had to pull the big cord.
I guess so. It's a much easier job though. It's kind of like how a
Yeah, but I mean, somebody
transcription
still
now
had
I
to
just
do it.
record.
Like, somebody still had to do it.
Yeah.
I think the executioner would have been one of the, like, Lord's
Party.
guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Something like that.
yeah, like, just, I'm the Lord's best guy. I cut the people's heads off with a big axe. But once
Well,
again, most executions in medieval times and ancient times, they weren't cutting people's heads off. They were, like, feeding them poisons or shooting
no.
them with an arrow.
I'm thinking more like French Revolution.
Yeah, once there was no giant battle axe in the French Revolution. There were, but they weren't being used for. That's crazy to think that in like the early 18th century, you were getting shot at, and there was a chance you were getting shot at, and you just had a pike.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! There's bullets flying at. You've never seen a gun in your life, right? You get conscripted. They're like, you need to fight in the Lord's army, and you're like, fuck. Okay, whatever. They give you a pike and a greatcoat, and you're like, all right, let's sally forth. And your little drum guy's like, brrrrum, brrrrum, boom, brrrrum. And they're like, stop. And you're like, okay, what's going on? And then bullets start flying. And you're like, what do I do? And they're like, just stand straight up and look mean. You're
Yeah.
going to charge them soon. And you're like, I have a pike. What the fuck?
It's like when the Normans tried to invade England and they saw the English longbow for the first time.
The Normans won one though.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
In the long term,
They won the whole. They took over the whole thing.
this is a separate battle.
You're talking the Battle of Hastings.
No,
Okay. What battle are you talking about?
I don't know. But the first time the
Okay.
longbow was invented, they had no idea what to expect.
First usage of the longbow. They had bows though. Everyone had bows. The longbow was just the first one. It was used in 1464.
No, much before that.
It said it was invented in 1464. That's what it says. History. It's disputed. 1138.
Yeah, it was before Battle of Hastings.
During the Anglo-Norman invasion. It says this was before the Normans.
I don't know.
Origins. We'll just keep talking. I'm going to read.
We need Richie to fact check this here.
Richie doesn't know anything about the Normans.
Sure he does.
No, he doesn't.
Richie, if you do, prove him wrong.
Traditionally, it has been argued that prior to the beginning. Man, you were totally wrong. They said it was like the 14th century or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Either way, they got like shredded by the longbow.
The Normans did by the British.
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
It says they didn't even have it during that. They didn't even have it.
I don't know. I remember reading this in school.
I don't know. What book did you read in that big book of like military arms?
Something like that.
When was the longbow invented? Oh, I guess the Neolithic period.
No, this is the English longbow I'm talking about.
The English longbow says the the third millennium. One was found in 1961.
Okay.
We found one in this. After landing, 1346. This is the first. Dude, I don't know if it was ancient times. I think the English longbow timeline of the longbow. Battle of Hastings. Harold was shot in the eye. Dude, there's no. I don't even understand what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. This makes no sense. I think science doesn't understand even what the longbow is. This is my longbow. This is my sword. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He had the double barrel shotgun. Was that Gangs in New York or Romeo and Juliet?
I have no idea.
Which movie was that? Who was in that? Leo DiCap?
What, Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah, the one where it was like Romeo and Juliet in like the 50s or something.
West Side Story.
No, man, it was Romeo and Juliet and
Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, if it was Romeo and Juliet and the guy had a shotgun,
I have no idea.
and he goes, "This is my longbow." Do you remember?
No.
This is my sword, and he's got like a shotgun.
No.
Fuck's sakes.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault. You and I are kind of like Rosecrans and Guildenstern.
Who?
You never read the Scottish play?
Hamlet?
That's Macbeth. Macbeth is the Scottish play, but also, yes, I think I was referring to Hamlet. Let me look this up.
You don't even know.
Come on. Rosecrans and Guildenstern.
Gilderstein.
Rosecrans and Guildenstern.
By Tom
Hamlet.
Stoppard.
Rosecrans and Guildenstern are in Hamlet. You and I are like Rosecrans and Guildenstern.
I never read Hamlet.
They're like a comedic duo. They're the comedy duo of Hamlet.
Hmm.
Hamlet's okay. Hamlet's not bad.
My high school only did Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, and
You don't
Midsummer
say.
Dream.
You never say the word. It's the Scottish play.
Mm.
It's cursed.
It's true.
Allegedly, it's cursed because there's evil rituals in it.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That in Midsummer.
How is it? You said you only ever did the Scottish play. And Macbeth.
Macbeth, yeah.
You said you only ever did that one. How is Midsummer your favorite? I hated Midsummer's.
Like we read it.
Oh. Did you do a live reading?
Yeah.
Or did your teacher read it to you?
Well, my teacher would like assign voices to the class, and then
Classic.
we'd read it out. Yeah.
Did you read The Crucible?
No.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's the one where they crush the guy with the rocks.
I was Lysander in Midsummer.
I hated Midsummer. I hated it. Oh, and the
What?
stupid faggy fairies.
Oh, I love the
I'm
fairies.
Puck. I'll make you fuck each other.
Puck was so mischievous.
They were banging each other.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the chicks in that one is really I don't know what it was, but when we read Midsummer's Night Dream, I thought they were like these like thick ass, big breasted, curly haired Scottish maidens. I don't know what in my head I just thought they were crazy bad.
That's funny.
I don't know something about it. I don't know.
I like when they were running around naked.
Do you remember the girl from Rio?
The woman?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of imagined them looking like her but with bigger boobs. I don't know why.
it's odd.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Imagination.
Yeah, I was just bored. It was ninth grade. I was bored. I'm like, this place
Imagine
sucks.
your favorite. You just watched Rio. You're like, what if she had bigger
What if she
boobs?
had bigger boobs? That's what I'm talking about. That movie would be better if she had bigger boobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm right.
Yeah.
You know I am. Remember when he's like, you need to shake your rear? And she's like, I don't know how. I'm from the Midwest. Me people in the Midwest don't have sex.
Those are good movies.
Brazil. Yeah. So let's get back to that Whippet story.
Oh yeah, the Whippets.
Remember that one, you guys?
So my mom bought these Barbie Whippets.
Explain to the audience what Whippets are, because I feel like the term's been overtaken by huffing
Yeah, I know.
O2 and nitro.
They're like these little well, the Barbie ones are pink, but they're usually
Yeah.
like covered in like a chocolate coating. And
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
like a chocolate
marshmallow on
coating.
the
They have
inside.
marshmallow and typically like a raspberry filling.
Yeah, so they're kind of
pretty
like a
good.
wagon wheel.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. And I brought two in a bag for Braden to have because he said
Yep.
he wanted them. So I
Yep.
was picking him up from work downtown. And
Sorry, I got to edit something out. Tyler's going to retell the story.
where do I start?
Start at you're picking me up from work.
Yeah, I was picking him up from work. I had my car off because I didn't want to use all my gas with the air on.
Yep.
So I had my windows down, and
Bad
some
move.
yeah, very bad move. And some homeless guy comes up to my car, puts his like head in my window.
If
Like
you ever
this.
seen, look up Kilroy. That's what it was like, I bet.
I was so scared. Like I was looking down at my phone, and I looked to my left, and we're like face to face.
Is this what it looked like?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, look up Kilroy was here. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, put in the thumbnail.
And yeah, I'll put the executioner in Kilroy.
Yeah. So he's there and he's like, "Yo, bro, do you have any food?" And I see him like eyeing because I had these cream puffs in the
They
passenger
look
seat.
yummy. They're bright pink.
Yeah, and I was like,
Oh, shit,
I
we
guess,
should
yeah.
Just grab one for the audience. Show them what it looks like.
Oh yeah.
Don't eat it because we said we wouldn't eat it until next weekend. No, it's not in there. It's in the closet. It's in my armoire. Open my armoire.
Like that.
All right, you can put it back now.
Okay.
We're saving them for next weekend. Shout out. You know who you are.
So yeah, he's peeking in and he's like, "Please, bro, anything. I'm so hungry." I was like, "Okay, you can have these." He's like, "God bless." And then I see him waddle down the street and he's going.
Do you feel like you did a good deed?
I did, but then I felt guilty because I wanted you to have
You
them.
promised them already.
Yeah, so that's why I went and I bought those
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, which I appreciated. I appreciate it.
Good.
Yeah, I mean it's tough being homeless.
Yeah,
It's tough being homeless.
it's probably one of the best treats he's had in
It's
a
tough
while.
being homeless.
Yeah.
But
You-
we don't know. I mean, we don't know what kind of hobbies he has, so he could have had much better treats. If you catch my meaning.
Mhm. No, not as good as Barbie though.
I've had things yummier than that.
Yeah. Poop.
Booty.
Nope.
Nope. Do you think there's a lot of gay guys who like candy?
Yes.
Do you think gay guys like
I'm one of
candy
them.
more than straight guys?
Yes.
What's a treat that straight guys like more than gay guys?
Like
Bar-
messy
barbecue.
food. Yes, barbecue.
But there's a lot of gay guys who like barbecue too.
Yeah.
Bears be barbecuing.
Do
I
they?
see a lot of. Well, I don't know. I just see.
I feel like a lot of
fat-
bears look like intimidating, but they're actually like very like
Yeah, but
dainty.
a lot of bears are into like hyper masculine. They're attracted to that.
They are the masculine. They like twinks.
Yeah, but not all bears like twinks. There's a lot of bears dating other bears.
That's true.
I could Google it.
No, I know. I've seen it.
I mean, a lot of bears are hyper masculine. Some bears are femme. It's like everyone's different. But I think I think more bears like barbecue than twinks.
Maybe. It is a masculine thing, so it would make sense.
It's not straight. It doesn't have to be. You can have a femme barbecue.
Like that guy with the long nails.
He's like,
I made you dinner.
and he's like eating the macaroni. He's
Tapping
like,
nails.
I'm I'm a hump you later.
Babe,
I'm a hump you
yeah.
later.
He's like, damn. Half the
That's my
comments,
man.
half the comments I see in that are like, yeah, make that food, and half the others like, I can't believe this is what society has crumbled to.
I think it's gross the way he talks on camera. It makes my stomach hurt.
The gay one,
They're both gay,
like
dog.
the one who eats.
The top or the bottom, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, the top makes weird. He's like, I'm gonna be in that later. He's like eating the macaroni. He's like, I'm gonna turn you out later.
Well,
Eat
because
your
like
macaroni.
the
Shut up,
fun,
bro.
the fun is that he's making it because he knows if he makes it good, he'll get turned out.
That's. I think he's gonna get turned out regardless.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one where he's like, see you later, and then he's like, yeah, see you. He's like, that's how you talk to me, and then he goes and kisses him. He's like, that's better.
Yeah.
I don't really.
That one had a lot of homophobia in the comments.
I don't like them as a couple very much.
I like them.
I want them to be private.
I like his nails.
I just think that it should stay in the bedroom. I don't care what you do, as long as it stays in the bedroom.
Sometimes you're such a prude. You don't like public displays of affection much. Stop that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just playing.
Like whenever you see gay people in public, you're like, go home.
It's not. It's okay. It has nothing to do with gay people. I just don't like PDA that much.
Yeah.
It's straight people too. When I see straight couples making out in public, I find it kind of gross.
Even when you see like a girl with like a low top, you're like, put some clothes on.
I'm joking. I don't do that. I don't say that.
You do that.
I don't say it to her. I've never catcalled a woman in my life. Let's make that clear.
No, you don't say it to them, but you'll make the comment.
It's a joke. Like, she needs to cover up. Because I think that's what my mom would say. I like
Okay.
it. I like seeing low cut tops. I like boobs. When I see a chick and she's got shorts that are too small and a shirt low cut, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They're always going for a walk.
When I see some twink walking around, I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever see the twinks walking around Osborne in their mesh tops?
A lot of them look weird, though.
They do.
A lot of them look strange. They got like They got like green hair and a bunch of curious scabs on their arms. And more power to you, but you know,
Gay women do fashion a lot better than like gay men. I
a
think.
lot of the women with low cut tops are of bisexual variants. I think
Yeah.
bisexual women be badder than straight women.
If you're
Sorry. I said, oops. Sorry, I said it.
if you're a gay man and then once you're dressing in feminine clothing, and you're trying to like look gay, it's not.
I do find gay men a lot more attractive than straight. I've almost never attracted. I don't know if I've ever been attracted to a straight person a straight man in my life.
Really?
I don't think so. I think every man I've ever been attracted to is either gay, bi, or DL.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever been attracted to a man who was clearly straight. I'm not really into super masked guys.
What about like the
You're
standard?
the one super masculine exception.
Yeah. I mean,
You're like
I
you're like a
dress.
bear.
I dress masculine.
Oh yeah, real masculine.
Yeah, I do.
Can we get a fit check, please?
I'm wearing a blue shirt. It's a dress shirt.
Let's
It's
get
a
a.
male shirt.
That is not a dress shirt. First of all, that is a sleeveless button up. That is not a dress shirt. Let's get a fit check. Fit check. Let's see the hyper masculine fit. He's Look, you're he's hyper masculine.
And I've got paint covered shorts because I work a blue collar job.
Bro really said he's hyper masculine to show off the shorts, fucking craned like a flamingo. You can't say you're hyper masculine.
Okay.
I don't think you're explicitly femme, but I don't think it's like
I don't go out of my way to appear feminine.
but you also don't go out of your way to appear masculine.
It depends on how I feel. Sometimes I'll do makeup and stuff, but most days I just.
You're like RuPaul.
Me. Yeah. I'm like Lord, actually.
You're like RuPaul with the fracking.
Some days I'm a boy, some days I'm a girl.
You're like RuPaul with the fracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean RuPaul, kind of low key ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even before the fracking.
No, he's always kind of been ugly.
No, but yeah, there's beautiful men, there's beautiful women, but do I like PDA? And not that much.
That's okay.
Not
Everyone
that
has
much.
different standards. I'm just saying sometimes you're a prude.
I'm not a prude. I'm not. Rachel Briggs is a prude.
Whenever people talk about like sex and stuff, you get uncomfortable.
No, I don't.
You.
we were both there for that conversation last weekend. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilariously fun. I thought it was a fun dialogue. Discussions about sex don't make me uncomfortable.
Okay.
To prove it to you,
Well, not the conversation,
we
but
should
like,
we should invite Richie and Catherine out, and I should bring up sex at Tim Hortons tomorrow. We should do that and just invite them out tomorrow to prove to you, and
well,
then they can be like, "Is that why they did that? Why Braden was talking that disgusting crap?"
no, I think I'm getting confused. It's not sex that makes you mad.
Doesn't make me mad.
It's like the prospect of people being sloppy. You know,
I
like
just think I think it's a little disrespectful in public.
yeah.
I think the public is a respectful place.
You see like a man not wearing a belt, and you're like, that bum needs to put a belt on.
It's not. No, you're misunderstanding. I do not get agitated at people wearing belts because it's disrespectful to not wear a belt. I think you should have your pants should be pulled up. Your butt crack shouldn't be hanging out in public.
Some people like that.
I don't care what they like. If you're at Tim Hortons, your butt should be not showing.
Oh, was that Tim's the other day?
Tim's is not. Okay, agree with me on this. Tim Hortons is not a sex place.
No, it's not a sex place. I was at Tim's the other day and I saw some twink in like he was wearing like low cut jorts, but they were like basically giving him a wedgie.
Low cut George. So they were high. Were they low cut or were they pulled up?
Both,
So he was wearing booty shorts.
pretty much.
And were you like, ah?
Well,
Low key?
not really,
Why not?
because he's kind of like icky.
What do you mean he was icky?
The twink ick.
How's he icky?
I don't know. He had like a bunch of like piercings and stuff. And it's not my thing.
You're describing a sexual icon.
Maybe
And so he had low cut shorts. Like, go on, continue.
he had that and like a mesh top over like what you're wearing.
Oh, he had it over top of it.
Yeah.
He was wearing a mesh top over top of a shirt.
No, like he was wearing a shirt and with a mesh.
So the mesh
Tank
top was
top and-
underneath it.
Yeah.
Okay. What time was this?
This was like midday. It's like noon. I was like, where are you going?
You might
Something
just
like
be
that.
a whore,
Maybe.
which is okay, I guess. You can be a whore. It's okay. I think that there's a time and a place for certain things, and maybe that makes
didn't-
me a prude.
I didn't know they lived in Transcona.
There's gay people everywhere.
I've not in Transcona.
You are one.
I am the most feminine looking man in all of Transcona.
That's not even true.
It is very
Your
true.
stepdad. He wears girls' underwear.
In the house. It's not girls' underwear, it's
Yes,
girls'
it
pajamas.
is. And does he have underwear underneath?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Odds are.
Curtains match the drapes.
That would mean that his hair is the same
Yeah, I
color
know.
as his pubic hair.
No, it's like pajamas and whatever.
That's not what that means. That's not what that means.
But yeah, no, everyone in Transcona, if I even wear a pink shirt, sometimes I get weird stares. Okay. All the twinks live in Osborne, and I've yet to find any exception to that rule.
Do you know how dung beetles push poop around?
Yeah.
What if you had so many dingleberries that dung beetles were gathering it up on your butt crack, getting the poop and rolling it around?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you know that's funny.
It's a little funny.
Imagine if you saw like somebody sleeping on the road and you saw a bunch of dung beetles rolling poop on their back.
That'd be fun.
And they're like picking there's birds picking like
Why do they do that?
what?
Why do they roll poop around?
I don't know. I don't know why they do that, but I like it.
Why don't we Google?
I don't think we have enough time.
We've got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes to Google why dung beetles roll poop around. Why do dung beetles roll dung? To create a food source and a safe place for their young. That's beautiful.
They eat the poop?
They eat poop.
Oh.
Why do dung beetles roll poo around? According to r/beetles,
They rolled away from the original pile to reduce competition.
dung beetles rolling dung. According to Dull Airline, they roll it for several reasons: to eat food, for reproduction. They create a brood ball so all the babies grow up in the poop.
Yay.
That's kind of gross. Protection from predators and for moisture. That's kind of gross, but I guess it's beautiful.
I find it funny. Poop. They must love wombat poop. Nice and square already.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't think I like dung beetles that much.
That's okay.
You know what I do like?
Poop.
The end of the episode.
Mm. You got 5 minutes still.
Nah, man. Recording cuts out in an hour.
Mm.
So we're just going to say goodbye now.
Okay.
I'm sorry for talking about all the green pubes and stuff, guys.
And poop. Okay.
Okay, bye bye, everyone. Bye
Bye
bye,
bye.
bye bye, bye bye.
Bye 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 bye.